Hi, everybody. I'm with Rocio Luna, author of the ebook Three Harsh Realities That Increase Your Workers' Compensation Premium. She's also an expert in what we call XMODs or the EMR for workers' compensation policies. This message is for all of you out there, our little partner agents, and if you're an insurance broker out there trying to understand how to leverage XMOD to create and to grow your agency, you want to stick around and listen to this quick conversation that we're gonna about to have with Rocio. Rocio, how are you today, ma'am?
I'm fantastic, Tony. Thank you so much for having me on your platform and your webinar. I'm more than excited to teach all of your LETO agents about workers' comp. As you know, workers' comp is the biggest expense for employers, especially in California. I mean, you already know that in California, the prices are high, and the prices even get worse in the workers' comp side, especially when you end up having workers' comp claims.
Rocio, I was reading your ebook and I noticed you have over 8 years of experience in managing workers' compensation claims. Tell us a little bit about you. So you went from managing workers' compensation claims to now being an agent of record for your book of business. What has managing claims or how has managing claims for workers' compensations help you understand the XMOD, the EMR?
So I am very blessed and grateful to have started in the workers' comp claims. I could tell you, working in the back end, I have seen how claims transition, and things that many employers don't know is that the way the process in the workers' comp system works. So when a claim gets filed with your insurance carrier, it needs to be managed because there's this thing that a lot of people don't know, that which is called the experience modification rate, and your EMR, or some people know it as the XMOD, is basically a rating sheet that calculates your claims record for the past 3 years. So let's say you could have 0 claims, and then next year you have 2 claims. Your EMR is going to go up, and that's going to be based on the amount of the cost of the claims and also the type of industry you're in. So if you're in an office setting, you're just like us, like insurance people, and we get 2 claims, we're going to have a very high workers' comp because, technically people who are sitting on the desk, sitting at the table, they shouldn't be having as many claims as a roofer. So a roofer is obviously someone high risk. So the way California states is like, okay, a roofer is going to have a higher risk versus someone at the office. So the way it's measured, it's completely 2 different things. So it's very important. And I always say what I've seen in the value with being in the backspace is that claims could really do damage to your premium. Mm-hmm. And you often don't know until you get your renewal. You ask yourself, like, how did I go, from paying $10,000 to now paying $30,000? And then it goes up more, obviously if you have more payroll, your price is going to go up, and same thing with claims. So you have higher payroll and more claims, then ultimately you're going to have a very high workers' comp premium.
One of the things that I've noticed on your social media, which by the way, everybody should follow you on social media, on Instagram. What is your Instagram?
It's Rocio, so ROCIO_INS_services.
Which, by the way, the amazing of using social media platforms, there's 2 sides to social media. There's content creators and there's consumers of the content. When you decide to create the content and you have something good to share, like in this case with Rocio, that's how I found out about you, through your social media, through the messages that you're putting out there. And one of the videos that catches my attention every time is, how are you managing to lower the premium by implementing the XMOD? How does that work? Now let's change the hat. Let's put the hat of the producer of insurance. When you're working with a client and you're able to knock out $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, like I've seen on your social media, what do you do behind doors to help them lower that rate?
So what I do behind doors, it's called claims management. So first step that I do when I'm calling on a new client is that I download the XMOD worksheet. And it is something that many people don't know. Like employers, like I could tell you, like even to this date, I still have some clients who will be like, oh, where do I get that from? So there's this thing called your XMOD worksheet, and you get it from the WCRB, which stands for the Workers' Comp Rating Bureau. And every employer, as long as you have an FEIN, you're already registered with the state. So the state automatically gets a record of your history, and that's based from the insurance, because the insurances they're all obligated to report to the state how much you're paying and what your record is. So the state goes, okay, well, if this person had two accidents, they get rated. So they'll be like, say, two accidents, for example, and now you're at 125. And for record, if you're new to this, your EMR is rated at 100. So if you have like a clean slate, no claims, you're at 72, which is ultimately the best score you could be. But we all know that, if you've been in business, especially if you're in a manufacturer, restaurant, construction, you're always going to have, a little small first aid claim or something. And so it adds up, and majority of the people, they all range between 100 and 125. That's the state average.
We are blessed at LETO to be able to work with over 70 partner agents through California and Texas. And I can tell you, even for me, it's the first time I really started to understand or wanting to dive into the XMOD is once I started seeing your videos. And I think this is something all the insurance agents, especially in this market, that they need to transition out of personal lines. They need to understand how this works, this EMR. And this is where you and I come together for this collaboration, which I'm very grateful that you're giving us your time to host this internal webinar for our LETO partner agents, which will be taking place on the 22nd, right? We said Monday the 22nd at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which we're also going to open it up for our Texas partner agents. But if you are an agent out there and you need to understand, or if you want to dive in more into the workers' comp space, you need to understand the XMOD, the EMR. How has this helped you, having this knowledge? Let's take it into the transaction piece of it. How has this helped you get new accounts for your practice?
Oh my God, it's helped me out. I always lead with the workers' comp. So oftentimes, as even like employers, they don't know. They just like, I don't know why I'm paying so much. I've had 3 accidents. I have no idea. I have a claim, or I got a letter from an attorney, and now, I'm being sued, but I really don't know what to do. No one's telling me anything. I call the insurance. The insurance never picks up. I'm lost. So that's where I come in and say, oh, well, look, we could get a report. I can know what you're paying, what the costs are. And oftentimes you'll be surprised, Tony. A lot of these times, these claims, people get, they'll get sued, but sometimes when the lawsuit's been so old, they're not even worked on. And that's really where I'm able to help out employers, is that I find out like a couple of months later that this guy, he dropped the case, or he's no longer interested in pursuing it, or maybe he wants to settle. He doesn't want to do the treatment. He just wants to settle for $5,000, $10,000. So then what I've done is that I speak with the adjuster and the workers' comp attorney, and I negotiate like, okay, like, the employer wants to settle this out. What's a good price to settle this? And then, we work out a plan. That gets more into the weeds, like when the case is litigated. But just even knowing that, hey, like, look, I see that your record, you have 10 cuts. We need to do something. Let's put a safety procedure in place. Let's get your employees some PPP to be, maybe the eyeglasses, or we need to get everybody eyeglasses, or we just need to start getting a more safety culture, because everybody's a little different. So what I've noticed a lot with like the newer companies is that they really don't have safety procedures in place. And that's my third thing in my book. I talk about SOPs. Even to this day, like, a lot of companies, even white collar, don't have a standard procedure, like something like, okay, this is what you do for new agents. We do this training, then we do this, then we do this. And like having steps in place is so important for any company.
It goes a long way. I was working on a SAM, sexual abuse and molestation policy, for a nonprofit. And all of these things is what the companies are looking for. What are the structures? What are the playbooks? What do we have, to the point that the company ended up establishing a SAM, sexual abuse and molestation procedures, that you don't think about these things. But when you're an agent and you understand how you're going to help your customer, you have to go out and beyond to make sure that you can get them the best opportunity to have a better premium for the policy, But not only that, is you're helping them, you're giving them business consultation on what they should do. That sometimes because you're on the running, you're running around building the business, you don't think about these things, and that sometimes is what us as agents we need to understand is we're more than just selling a policy.
Mhm.
We're consulting them on how they can structure their business better, and that's something that we gotta do all the time. And when you're in a position to be able to take on that role because you understand what you're doing, you're definitely going to grow a better book of business. You're going to work with better clientele. It's something that I agree with you 100%. You got to be able to help your business owner clients, or all of your clients, in more than just here's your policy. Here we go. Bye bye. See you next year.
Yeah. And then you ask any business owner right now, ask anyone, do you want to grow your business? Everybody's going to say yes. I've never heard someone say,
Mm-hmm.
no, I don't want to grow my business. I'm fine the way I am. Never.
Yeah.
And if you could grow your business in the way getting procedures in place, me cutting back in insurance, but come on, Tony, nobody likes to overpay in insurance.
Yeah.
No one
Yeah.
likes to use
Yeah.
insurance. Insurance
Yeah.
is something that we all need to have, and we hope not to use it, because once we use it, we know we're going to have a claim and the price is going to go up.
Yeah. It's the game. It's the game, and that's when you start to the clients and, well, I only have one claim. Yeah, it's not fair. It's the name of the business, and insurance is a business. Companies have to be profitable, otherwise they'll leave the state. California, look at where we stand right now. Let's not dive into that horse. But at the end of the day, when you have systems in place that can help your business, but also understand when you need to use your insurance policy, it'll be there to back you up. Rocio, and I told you this before we started recording this conversation. I'm really excited to see what you're going to be doing in the future. I'm really excited to start working in this relationship with you, with everybody that we're going to work together. I'm very grateful that you're giving us this time to host this seminar on the 22nd. And there's going to be a part two, because this is a lot to be able to digest in one simple seminar. So already off the bat, we know it's going to be a two-part seminar for our little partner agents. The first one is an introduction. The second one, you're going to dive deeper into this one, which at this point, your time is valuable. So there will be a cost for the second seminar. And probably I just planted the seed. Naturally, that's something you might want to or not. A third one on how to use what they learned from the first and the second one to be able to generate new accounts. Regardless of wherever we go from here, I'm excited. I am grateful that you're giving us the time. I'm grateful that we're using social media properly, the way it should be done. And I'm here to help you in anything that you may need. And thank you. And any other partner agents, or if you're not an agent of our partnership with LETO Financial, if you're looking at this video, this is what we do. We bring in the resources so that you can learn how to build your book of business. Because at the end of the day, you own your book of business within LETO Financial. We don't put you with handcuffs so you can no longer exit our program. If you want to take your practicing to the next level in 2024, which you should, it's not just commercial, it's not just personal, it's financial division. We talked briefly, you talked with Julian briefly. So let us help you going into 2024, 2025, use our resources. And I am grateful, Rocio, that you're accepting to be a part of our group, not as a partner agent, but at least as an external resource to train our agents with all the knowledge that you have. Thank you.
Yeah. And thank you, Tony, for having me on. And kudos to you, honestly, as a leader, because not many, I've worked with a couple of different insurance agencies, and I could tell you, being from the sales side, leaders, insurance owners and leaders don't take the time to show their agents on how to evaluate an EMR. They just go, here's some leads, go make some money.
So, well, thank you. I appreciate it, Rocio. We'll be in touch. Remember, everybody, for our little partner agents, the first webinar is going to take place on the 22nd. You'll get more information, and we'll be in touch. Thank you for your time, Rocio. Have a good day. God bless everybody. We'll be in touch.
You too. Thank you, Tony.